Well, hi there. How do you do? Hey, the Beer Whisperer's getting a little creative tonight. I'm not a big cocktail guy, as some of you know. I do like whiskey. Generally like it straight, neat. But every once in a while I enjoy a Manhattan. Every once in a while I have a martini. I'm kind of doing something in the middle. Both here. I'm not sure if this ought to be a martini or a white Manhattan. You all decide. But I'm using Jim Beam Ghost. Unaged whiskeys are very trendy at the moment. Ghost, Jim Beam Jacobs Ghost, I should say. This I used 1.5 ounces of the Jacobs Ghost to a ½ ounce of dry vermouth. If you're doing a Manhattan, if you're keeping score, you would use a darker, traditionally rye. You can use bourbon or other whiskeys, but and then you use a sweet vermouth. So I'm using a dry vermouth like you'd use in a martini, but I'm using the bourbon like you'd use in a Manhattan. Jacob's Ghost, anyway. I am going to use some orange bitters, though, some Angostura orange bitters. Should be very Manhattan-like. Do 3 dashes. So this is what I'm calling, at the moment, my white Manhattan. Oh, very fragrant because of the orange bitters. How about that? This type of drink you certainly want cold, like a martini. Some people drink their Manhattans straight up like this. Some on the rocks. I do prefer them straight up. Straight up basically means chilled, but no ice cubes in the glass. Pretty simple. Jacob's Ghost, I started explaining it, but then I got sidetracked. Jacob's Ghost is not an unaged whiskey, which are very trendy right now. It is actually aged for 1 year in white oak barrels. So you do have a slight oakiness from that 1 year. But unaged whiskeys are trendy. This one runs about anywhere from 18 to 20 a bottle, somewhere in that neighborhood. There are many unaged whiskeys that run more than that, which I think is absolutely ridiculous because it is a trend right now for whatever reason. Some people get hooked on trends. Oh, I'm going to buy it. I get why you're paying, $35, $40 for a single malt whiskey, or 50, 60, 70, 80, for 10, 12, 15, 20-year whiskey. I get that. I really do. I don't get why some people are paying $50 for an unaged whiskey. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But anyway, people are going to do what they're going to do. What are you going to do? Anyway, I got sidetracked, and then I got rambling. Anyway. Anyway. I don't know if this ought to be a martini or a white Manhattan. I'm kind of going back and forth. It does have, you could put some fruit in here, I suppose, if I had an orange slice handy. You might. I'm not a fan of fruit. I do love a Manhattan, but I usually tell them to hold the cherry because I don't want the cherry in my frickin' drink. On a very rare occasion, I'll have an old-fashioned, but places out here always serve an old-fashioned with an orange slice and a cherry, which again I don't dig. So, but you could, if you want to dress this up, you can drop a lemon peel or an orange peel or an orange slice, whichever. I'm at home. I don't have the fruit handy. I didn't really care. I was just trying to formulate something. So I want to try that Jacob's Ghost, 1.5 ounces Jacob's Ghost, ½ ounce dry vermouth, 3 dashes Angostura bitters, and a white Manhattan. I don't know if you could tell by my face, but I'm not making a face. This is very easy drinking. I do get a little flavor from the orange bitters, but it doesn't overtake the natural flavor of that Jacob's Ghost white whiskey. Do I like this better than, say, a martini? Could I, if I had vodka handy, could I make a martini? Yeah, I could. Generally, for me, when I have a martini, I've always liked a dirty martini. The difference with this is this white whiskey. Vodka traditionally isn't supposed to have flavor, so anything you add to the vodka is giving you the flavor. The vodka is not supposed to have any taste whatsoever. That's why people pay an arm and a leg for good vodka. That's not going to have that burn that cheaper vodka will give you. or that big alcohol taste at the end. And this kind of gives you, using the white whiskey, the Jacob's Ghost White Whiskey, well, I get some flavor from the whiskey. So I not only have flavor from the whiskey, but then I've added the dry vermouth, and then I've added the bitter. So if I'm having a martini and I have the vodka, or if some people like a gin martini, which is traditional, which in case you got the juniper and then the vermouth, and then whatever else you add to it. And if I'm having a regular or if I'm having a vodka martini, then I'm having the vodka. Traditionally, if I have a martini, I like a vodka dirty. But I do like something like this. I've even done something like this dirty. Have the white whiskey with some olive juice to make it a dirty would be nice too. But I kind of like what I've got going on here. With an ounce and a half of the Jacob's Ghost, to a half ounce of the vermouth, and just 3 dashes of the bitters, I get this slight orange flavor, but I still can smell the whiskey. I still have some flavor of the whiskey. I've got some slight oakiness because it is only aged a year, but you have some sweetness from the whiskey, so it's kind of a pleasant change. It just depends on what you're looking for. It comes and goes, but it seems to be trendy right now to drink these unaged whiskeys and put these preposterous flavors in them, like apple pie moonshine and things like that. And some people are liking that. I'm a fan of alcohol. You know what I mean? I mean, I want my alcohol to taste like alcohol. I don't think alcohol ought to taste like pumpkin pie or apple pie or any kind of pie or cherry pie, because I think then you're fooling yourself. You're allowing yourself to drink and get drunk when you're not appreciating. That's why I love good whiskey. I love it neat. I love to drink it straight. Because I'm appreciating the whiskey. But I'm doing something like this, I feel like I'm still appreciating the whiskey because I'm just I'm not hiding the flavor of the alcohol. And then that kind of concerns me when people that drink to hide the flavor of the alcohol. It tells me that they're only out to drink to get drunk, and that's kind of disturbing. I'm out for the pleasure, man. Toot toot. Hey, this is an old glass I've had for a long time, Gentleman Jack glass. I wish I had a Jim Beam glass up there. I have tons of glasses and I couldn't find I know I have a Jim Beam glass up there, but I couldn't find it handy. So I used my Gentleman Jack glass. So I hope the folks at Jack Daniels don't get offended. But I liked it because it has that sort of shape of a martini glass. There you go. This was very enjoyable. Jacob's Ghost. If anybody wants to try this at home, don't try this at home, people. If you feel good about yourself, try this at home. Again, ounce and a half Jacob's Ghost. Half ounce sweet vermouth of your choice. And I use 3 dashes of Angostura orange bitters. You could use any orange bitters. These are what I happen to have handy. And it did add a slight citrus without overpowering the whiskey. It was an overall nice combination. I don't know if you could tell by the way I was drinking it, but it was very easy to drink. It was very satisfying and refreshing. I think it would be a great summer drink. Manhattans, I love Manhattans. Excuse me. In the fall and winter months, because it feels like a warming drink. This, I think, would be a great drink in the spring and summer months because it does feel refreshing with the white whiskey, because it is clear with the dry vermouth as opposed to the sweet vermouth and the orange bitters. So I'm going to call this White Manhattan for now, or my version of a White Manhattan. And again, if you want to add fruit or fruit slices or orange peel or lemon peel, yeah, it could be a nice dressing. I was just experimenting for now, so there you go. Do it the way you want it. This was a damn tasty drink, though. I'll tell you that right now. I did talk a long time. I better go. Hey, this time to Beer Whisperer. Oh, sometimes he drinks whiskey.